Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Security Talk Show by 360 PSA. We are in episode number 5. Our guest for this episode is Mrs. Pooja Mahagaonkar, who's the CEO of IPSA Private Limited, which is a private security agency based out of Mumbai. In her role as the CEO, Pooja is responsible for the company's strategic direction and operational efficiency. She is also a mentor for MBA students and very interestingly guides them on the impact of security robots on traditional security roles. Pooja is also a certified security practitioner from IISSM and was also one of the finalists for Young Security Professional Award 2024 at the OSPAS. So, if you are someone who's looking to start their own private security agency or are aspiring to transition into the industry, then this CEO's perspective is going to be extremely relevant for you. So, let's tune into the episode. So, Pooja, we'll jump into the conversation, right?
Agreed.
So,
Okay,
since you have been part of the private security industry in India for multiple years now, right?
correct.
How have you seen the industry evolving across time?
Manan, I have been a part of this industry indirectly for close to 12 years. And I've seen this industry evolving very dramatically. Just let me quote you. We started with a kathi, a guard, a watchman, a chowkidar was known with a kathi. That was a symbol of a traditional security guard. But now it has been replaced with advanced electronic devices, gadgets, everything. So as the threats are becoming more sophisticated, even the industry is actually evolving at a very faster pace. So it's not about guarding a property, it's actually providing a very comprehensive safety and a risk management. So it has been changing and it will definitely change more in the future.
Understood, Pooja. Understood. So, you're saying that, what began as just a person standing on ground wearing a
Ah,
uniform has
yeah,
now evolved into a much more complicated, much more nuanced kind of a function for the client.
correct. The Jagte has been now changed with many things.
Yes, yes, yes. Very true, very true. So, Pooja, from your perspective, right, today, if you look at the private security industry, what do you think stands out as that one most positive thing about the industry? And what do you think is that one negative thing which can be improved upon?
Okay. So this positive and negative is a two sides of a coin. See, there are many rapid infrastructure and industrial development happening throughout the country.
Mhm.
So you know what is happening? It is a positive thing. Our industry is actually known as a job creator. It is an opportunity provider for the masses.
Yes.
So it is, yes, it is one of the positive side of this industry that it is open for and accessible for many. But here also comes a negative side that it is actually open up for the masses and it is like it is open up for the quantity and the quality gets degraded.
Mm.
So a positive side is having actually a negative. The masses is not giving the quality and the training and the development part get very affected. So this is a positive. It is open for many people. And yes, that is also a negative aspect. So I can say this, I believe this is the very positive and the negative side of this sector.
Very interesting point, Pooja, because I think quality as a concept, right, it is more determined by the end client than it is determined by the service provider,
Correct. Correct.
right? So, in context of that, Pooja, what do you think are the expectations of the end client today from a private security agency?
Manan, what I believe na ki the expectation has never changed. It was, it is, and it will be the same. The client only want one thing. They want a feeling of safety and a security, but within a budget. That's the
Right.
crux. So if they're sitting at a home or any place, they want ki my assets, my office, my home, my people are safe. So this is the only thing. They may say many things, but this is the only borderline, or this is the main thing what they want to say, or what is the actual expectations from a client. So clients are looking for a very reliable partner who
Mhm.
are first of all very compliant towards the statutory government statutory, and they are able to deliver this primary expectation. Agencies are offering many USPs, but we should not forget the only thing what a client wants and will require in future as well is the feeling of security and safety. That's the only thing we should never forget. The client is never wrong. It's just we have to understand what they want.
Absolutely agreed, Pooja. And I think this feeling of security and safety that ties back to your point where quality of the security
Ah,
services being provided
correct.
was mentioned, right?
It typically depends upon the quality, what we give. That's a feeling of reliability too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. So, Pooja, now we have spoken about, how the industry currently is operating with a positive, which is also a negative, very interestingly pointed out by you. So,
Correct.
in context of that, what do you foresee happening in the industry, let's say 2 to 5 years down the line? What do you think is going to change? Are there any emerging trends that you can, see today that are going to become a big thing tomorrow?
In 2 to 5 years, I believe there will be many transformative trends in the from the point of view of a technology,
Okay.
and the physical security will be definitely supported by the advancements in the technology, and we will be seeing the reliability on automation. I won't say the work of a guard would become redundant, but it will be supported with a function or with the technology or something more transformative. And there is few changes I have been noticing. Earlier, the college students, the MBA grads, they were not interested in this sector.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal experience in this 2 years, what I'm seeing this there are students who are coming up ki we want to study your industry, we want to make a project on your industry, this is something else which is untouched.
Yeah.
So yes, they want to study how really the ground reality works. So there is one more thing, that there are the new generation, what I can say, is actually getting inclined, or they want to study what is it,
Yeah.
why are they contributing towards the economy, or why they are the contributor towards the employment generator. So
Mm.
there is an good good way schools are come somewhat they're coming up, that they just see our children, just see our students, they want to study more about this. So there is also one change I have seen in this 2 to 3 years.
Wonderful, wonderful. So essentially, one is that technology, of course, will become a much more integral part of the suite of security services that agencies offer today.
Correct, correct. And the agencies have to understand that this technology is not our enemy. They are not here to like take our place, but it's actually going to help us. It is going to help us in our operations. Definitely, it can bring the cost down, but you
Mhm.
have to understand it. You have to openly embrace it. That's the point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you need to have that kind of vision that, this is something
Exactly.
that can make you a better and a bigger version of yourselves.
Exactly. You have to open to it. It's an open learning.
Absolutely agreed, Pooja. And the other thing that you mentioned is that more people like, postgraduates from, respected B schools are now taking more interest in the industry, and the industry at large in itself is now being recognized for the contribution that it is making to the economy of the country.
Exactly. Yeah, I can say because of few people who are working actually towards it, who are actually, there are senior people, I know you might be knowing some of them. They are
Mhm.
actually showing the world that, see, we are there, we are contributing towards something big, and we were not seen before. So
Yeah.
yeah, like you have to recognize us. So they are doing good work, and I really appreciate their work.
Amazing, amazing. So the future to that extent seems bright for those who embrace technology and I mean get the right kind of talent, right?
Definitely.
And then, Pooja, speaking of the right kind of talent, what do you think is the type of talent that is required in the private security industry today?
See what I said earlier, this industry is open to the masses. It
Hmm.
is accessible. We have a pool of resources. It's a very big pool. But you know, the talent point, it really gets stuck. The quality, it is the biggest thing that which plays a major role for any agency owner or a CEO. So I believe the right kind of talent which is necessary in this sector is the personal, the people who are working, they should be open to learning.
Hmm.
Like the earlier duty they used to do 5 to 4 years back was will be different today and will be more different tomorrow.
Yes.
So they should accept that, and they should be open to learning, and they should be able to adapt to the evolving job requirements. Because
Hmm.
if our people, if a normal person can use a technology and a normal phone and a WhatsApp, definitely they can understand the technology as well if they are trained properly. So the talent, what I feel, the skill and the talent which is required is the openness. Be
Hmm.
it a agency owner, be with the guards or any other person who are employed with the industry, private security agency or industry, they should be able, they should understand that we have to learn. We should never stop learning because this industry will definitely undergo many changes in the coming years.
Very
So
well
this
said.
is so this is the talent what I feel, according to me, is required.
No, this makes perfect sense because if the industry landscape at large is evolving, the nature
Hmm.
of threats is
Huh.
evolving, and by
Correct.
extension of that, your risk mitigation strategies also have to evolve.
Definitely.
So then as a stakeholder, you must also evolve accordingly.
Exactly. This thing lies for everyone. For me, for you,
Agree.
for everyone under this industry.
So everyone across the value chain must know that they should have that open-mindedness, that there
Ha.
is always something that they can learn more about.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Right. So Pooja, but I've spoken to a couple of other PSA CEOs, owners, and other stakeholders in the industry. What I've realized is that they tell me that the challenge with getting good quality content in the industry
Ha.
is that you have to pay them accordingly, but
Ha.
the end client really is not willing to compensate for that good quality that they are getting. So how does
Correct.
one retain good quality talent in the industry?
As I said earlier, also that the client wants security within a budget.
Yes.
That was the I said this is the really expectations of a client. So they are right on their part, but now it gets difficult that within a stringent budget we have to bring this quality and we have to manage our services as well, our charges as well. So to retain these people, see if the first part is uh, a good quality of a guard or good quality of a personnel will stick to your company if you are showing them a proper career progression.
Hmm.
See, today, if I'm joining as a guard, I don't want to be a guard in the next 2 years. I want to be a head guard, I want to be a supervisor or something like that. If you're giving a proper career plan, a progression in a few time, definitely they will be motivated. They will stick to your company. At times, they will adjust to the salary what you are offering. They will definitely because they are seeing the progress happening with their rank slowly
Right.
and steadily. And what happens in this meantime, in this graph, they are actually getting the training and they're getting the skills what are required for the next position. And yes, the client will definitely get a good quality, and they will get a reliable quality, reliable personnel on their side, and we will be also ensured, like we will be assured, the agency will be assured that we have sent a very trusted person with this client,
Yeah.
all because we were in the beginning we have itself charted a career progression plan.
Yeah.
You should not bring a person just with a focus that today he's a guard, he will be a guard. No, just
Hmm.
give him the right set of development skills training. Just it's a matter of a few minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes at the site. It can be done. If it's done, we should never the services will never be hampered, and it will be budget is a thing, but we cannot change it. That's a very different aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to do it, because if we are not doing, there is some other agency doing it.
Correct.
Correct. So that's the thing. The
Correct.
retaining part in this industry is difficult, but it can be done if you are a trusted agency. That's all.
Interesting point, Pooja, because if I juxtapose this with how, goal setting is done in a corporate job, this is
Huh.
the exact process that is followed, right? That anybody who's taking up a corporate job, they want to know as to 2 years,
Exactly.
3 years down the line, where can they expect to be?
Exactly. We have to treat these people as also like a corporate employee.
Yeah.
We have to change our mindset. That's everything.
Yeah.
That's a mindset, nothing else.
Yeah. So, what I understand from what you have said is that, more and more private security agencies will become much more sophisticated and corporatized in how they operate going forward.
Exactly. Because nowadays, few of my clients as well are actually understanding and taking our guards as their partners.
Okay.
They are not treating us as their vendors now. We are their partners. They want us to be with them every time. Even when they celebrate, our guards are with them. So that's a great thing. But that's the trust that we have created in these many years. Our guards have performed with them. So that's the thing. The mindset will change if we are actually able to provide that quality of a service. We can't complain with the budget. We have to work.
Yes, and over time, once you gain the trust of the client, and the client also realizes that this is indeed a quality partner that I have on board, they can always decide to expand their budget, right?
Definitely. This is happening. This is happening. It's just upon how you portray your services. That's all.
Makes perfect sense, Pooja. Makes perfect sense. So, from your experience as the CEO of a private security agency in Mumbai, right? What
Correct.
would your advice be for somebody who's listening to this podcast and really wants to start their own agency now? What would be your like 2, 3 points to keep in mind for them?
I'll give you my example. When I joined this industry, I was given only one thing. I was just said, ki, just go through all the regulations which are pertaining to this industry very well. You
Mm-hmm.
never know when it will help you. And because we are not like any other industry, we have to work under certain regulations. So the first thing I would advise anyone, just go through all the rules, all the regulations which are laid down by the state and the central government.
Mm-hmm.
And the second most important that thing is you have to understand you are responsible for the people's life, home, assets. So you should be a responsible person. Only two things. That thing is just go through the rules, and you have to be responsible for many things which will be happening around.
Wonderful. So basically, be 100% compliant, and
Exactly.
second is be 100% responsible for your job.
Exactly.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, Pooja, coming to your personal experience, right? As a PSA CEO, what does your day typically look like? Where do you spend your time? Between what function is the day split up? And just tell us more about that.
Madan, you are with this industry, I think, for a long period. You might understand this industry is very unpredictable.
It is true.
A call in the night can change your sleeping time, and it can happen. But if I go on a typical day, my day starts and ends with the same thing, that I review the I take brief reports from my site operation in charges every day. Like
Mhm.
what happened? Is there anything happened in the night or in the morning shift? That's a brief call. That's a very brief call. We follow this in the morning and even during night at something close to 8 o'clock. This is followed thoroughly
Mhm.
at all our branches and at the head office as well. This is the thing. And later on in the in the between period, I have many other the other duties to fulfill. And and if there is an emergency, and I can't predict that emergency,
Absolutely.
so it's like we have to take many quick decisions. So my day for tomorrow, it can change.
Understood.
But the two things will remain the same, the reporting part in the morning, because very it is very essential for us
Yeah.
to plan the day, or any measures have to take it immediately. Yeah,
Makes
that's
sense.
my. Yeah.
Makes sense, Pooja. So essentially, as a PSA CEO or the owner, right, you should always expect to remain on your toes. You can always expect new problems to crop up, and you should always expect to, be ready to solve those problems that come up.
And we should actually be ready to sacrifice our festivals as well,
Right.
because when actually the service receiver are enjoying the vacation, we should be on our toes that nothing hampers,
Yeah,
everything goes smoothly, because that's the main important part.
absolutely. And I think that is what you meant by being responsible.
Exactly.
Very well said. Very well said, Pooja. So, Pooja, what was your personal motivation to join the industry and any challenges that you faced along the way?
Actually, I belong to the family of a freedom fighter. So my family has been contributed to nation security since many years, from generation to generation. So this was something, this industry was never imposed on me. I had many opportunities as well, but this was something you can say a inner calling. This was something ingrained in me.
Mhm.
So it was pulling me after my post graduation and everything, and it was pulling me. Yeah, it was something I wanted to do. So yes, I continued the legacy and the challenge. I can say I can understand this industry is still a very male dominated sector.
Right.
there were no certain discrimination ever happened with me by God's grace. But yes, there are at times there are situations that I have to understand that yes, there is a problem, and and I have to face it regardless of the gender. So only this is the thing, that there is this the the gender part in this industry has been a challenge, but I don't think it is a challenge if you take it gracefully.
Wow, very well said, Pooja. Very well said. So there are two things, right? One is that you spoke about the intrinsic motivation based on the family setup that you have grown up in and the
Correct,
people you have seen
correct,
around. That was your intrinsic
correct,
motivation to get you to the industry. But
correct.
but now today, what sustains you in the industry? What keeps you going? What helps you get out of the bed in the morning every day?
See, if we like what we do, definitely we'll get up from the bed.
Yes.
I had a passion, I had a very deep understanding and the importance of this industry and the security, I can say the responsible part. So I entered this industry with a very clear purpose, and it is driving me till today since many years.
Hmm.
And what keeps me going at times, in fact, for everyone, if we get a small feedback or a testimonial or a client certificate in a positive manner, definitely it makes a very real difference and it fulfills the intended purpose for what I have joined over here. So it's a reassurity, I can say.
Agreed. Agreed. And I think Pooja very well said and very well summed up that, one is that loving what you do and then
Exactly.
getting acknowledged for the good quality work that you're doing by your end clients. I think there's no feeling that comes close to matching that.
We are walking in the right path. That's what
Absolutely.
it
And I
is.
think this is a wonderful note to wrap up this conversation with. Thank you
Yes.
so much once again, Pooja, for taking out the time and for sharing your insights and experience with us. Thanks a lot.
Very, very nice to get connected, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. We genuinely hope that it was worth your time. Do support this channel by subscribing to it and by sharing the content in your network. We'll see you in the next video.